Okay, how does this sound? All right, we have a new speaker that the rec center acquired, so we'll see how this works. Yeah, it's got sound effects as well. I might use that. Okay, so we have a forum, so I can go ahead and have the July meeting called to order. You guys don't mind joining me in a quick moment of silence? Okay, thank you. And if if you don't mind standing and joining me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance. Apologize for the sun. Hopefully it's not blinding you too badly or getting you too hot. But if you weren't able to check it out, we had the treasury report available on the front desk. And so if there are no objections, I'll file that. And I'll go ahead and get started with Cincinnati Police Department and our new neighborhood liaison officer. She does have the data for the last month. If anyone would like to see it, raise your hand and let me know. Oh, all right.
I just want to introduce myself, guys. I am Officer Monique Martin. I am the new neighborhood liaison officer for. You said the mic? Yeah. Oh, you can't hear me? I am Officer Monique Martin. I am the new neighborhood liaison officer for your area. I just ask that you guys have some grace with me because I am new to this unit, but I've been policing for over 15 years. So just have a little grace if you have issues or concerns. I have to have a system. I'm trying to work my system out with the issues that everybody has for community. Okay. I have the crime stats for they're on the table if guys wanted to follow along. This is my partner in the unit, so she's my help for today. We support each other. Not to. Okay, I don't know how the previous neighborhood officer actually did the stats, but I'm just gonna read them verbatim. So like I said, I have to figure out how I'm going to do it. So as far as the violent crimes, there's no violent crime. There was a robbery, but it was not a, how can I say this? It wasn't a, it was violent. It's considered violent as far as the Ohio Revised Code, but it was really a boyfriend girlfriend trouble. She got mad at him, so she called the police and made a report. And when they do that, we have to we have to code it what it is. It was considered a robbery because of the fact that she said it was. There was an increase in theft from autos, but I guess that's understandable. Why I don't know. That's understandable for this time of year, only because it's summertime and kids and everybody else, they don't have anything to do for the summertime. And then again, we're still having issues with the kids and the Hyundais. So we were giving out the clubs for the steering wheels, but we don't have those anymore, so I guess that's something that you guys can purchase on your own. And as far as the theft from autos, the only thing that I can say is, if you don't need it, don't take it. If it's important, you gotta put insurance on it, then you don't need to have it in your car. Because a lot of people are like getting wedding rings stolen, $2,000 out of the glove box stolen, and things of that nature. If you do not need it, and please don't take it. Because then it's our fault because it's stolen. Unfortunately. But other than that, I don't have any other, there's no change in the fees. Yeah, there's no change in the property crime. Again, there's like, I mean, this is good. There's no violent crime, and the robbery that was really not a robbery. That's all I have as far as that.
All right, any questions? All right, so Mike's hand first.
I know Officer asked earlier about the incident up there at Bramble in Plainville. If you could bring next meeting, why they have response to the Hamilton County Disability Building, why everything rolls. Today, the road was blocked from 4:30 to 5:30. Metro buses had to be turned around. Yesterday, there was another incident, same way, six or eight officers showed up. We could have some kind of interaction from District 2 about why so much emergency vehicles show up when there's an incident there. This has happened many times, but the last 2 days, we've had major. Happened at 4:30 this afternoon. Bramble Road was closed for an hour. Metro buses had to be turned around. I don't know what's going on, but it'd be nice if we could get some information on why everything, 49ers rule, vice squads come, 6-8 officers come. I just don't know what's happening there. So we could have some kind of interaction or find out what's going on with that. So to me, it's a major incident at 4:30 on an afternoon when roads closed. So thank you.
I understand your concern. Some of that is confidential, as far as people having medical emergencies. And when they have medical emergencies, we're not equipped to do things that the fire are equipped to do. So when there's a medical emergency or any type of major emergency, everybody comes. And so we block the street up to make sure everybody is safe, including ourselves, when we're handling the medical emergency. Now, if it was a violent crime or something of that nature, then we would make you aware. But as far as a medical emergency and things of that nature, it's kind of confidential. But I'll see what kind of information I may be able to bring to you.
That's the whole community. You can't bring Mike, you can't use it. I'm not, hey, hold on, Parker. You don't cut anybody else up, you ain't cut me up, okay? Okay, sorry, you got it. Okay, I know how long you okay, you're not gonna cut me up because, thank you.
I was under the impression that Kia was updating their software on the car so they would stop being stolen. And I had heard that in the media like a couple weeks ago, and they said that was rolling out like as soon as possible. Has that not happened yet, or?
Some cars are updated and some cars are not. I don't know how they are doing it. I don't know if you physically need to, I'm sure you probably physically need to take your vehicle, and a lot of people have not taken their vehicle to the dealerships to get whatever needs to be fixed so they can't be stolen.
Okay, so they're having to physically take their cars. It's not just downloading, like my car, when it gets an update, I can get in my car and it just, as soon as I turn it on, it just starts downloading. So they're having to physically take it.
Because this is the whole mechanism in the key fob mechanism in the,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, yes.
Earlier, there are two,
I call one a drugstore because it used to be a little store when I grew up, and one a drug house, and they're within 2 houses of each other. They've now interacting with each other. We have a lot of traffic on Rose Street, it's at Row and Simpson. Karen and I have talked about the drug house, which is a rental property, and I've seen activity, money changing hands, girls who appear to be stoned being led into the house, girls who appear to be prostitutes, and that's a judgment. But there's a lot of activity around there, and the police have been called. A detective Sneed actually called a squad to come because there was a man driving up and down, screaming and screeching his brakes and threatening people and all that. So he knows about it. And I own property on this street, and I have friends on that street. And one lady's afraid to come out of her house. Another young woman who is going to contact you is concerned about the welfare. She has a 2-year-old son, and she's afraid he's going to be shot. The drive-bys, the shooting. So the concern, and Carrie and I talked, he said, continue calling. But the question we always get is, are there weapons? Who is it? And it's white, black, old, young, Hispanic. I mean, they're all different people. I can't tell if they have a gun or not. The neighbors can't tell if there's a gun or not. And so we see patrols coming by, but the concern is, what's it going to take to get that stopped? Because is somebody going to have to die before something happens? And it would be interesting to know what's going on. And I've talked to Detective Sneed before, who said the police are aware of activity there, but right. Yes, he lives on Simpson.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
And my son, my nephew and I have both helped him with dog issues.
That's all I wanted, because he's not in the district, but I too much with it.
No, I think he's in District 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation that we can have.
Right.
I will give you my information, because that's like a project, that's not gonna be something that can be handled like.
Yeah, it's just, I would imagine that's common throughout the neighborhood. And it's like, it doesn't seem like anything happens until somebody dies. There's a little boy up the street on Rose Street who got shot by his brother, and that was within the family, and that was a family problem. But this one is more of a neighborhood, you know, and everybody's frustrated. One neighbor is leaving, and I'm friends with all the people on the street. Another neighbor won't, like I said, she won't come out of the house. So that just to make you aware that that's something that's been going on for years.
Okay, thank you. I'll give you my information.
Maybe that's something in the future we can have maybe more clarity of when you have recurring reports of incidents at a specific location, like, what's that process or those steps look like for escalation. So maybe that's something we can talk about in the future of who we can get to like clear that up for folks.
Well, when you have those kind of issues, I was saying before, it's not something that like, you can tell me and then I can handle it and it's done. It's gonna take a lot of units from the Cincinnati Police Department to handle those type of major issues. Right. So that's like our violent crime squad and things of that nature. So we have to get together, and there has to be surveillance for a little while. Even though you say you see those things, we are the ones that have to testify in court. So we have to be witnesses to those type of crime as well. And I have seen you. Now they're part of the place. But I do encourage you to keep calling. Still, I encourage you to continue to keep calling.
Oh, I got another question in the back.
Last month, there was an announcement about a program that our neighborhood had been selected for. So I didn't know if you guys were gonna talk about that at all.
CPOP projects.
Yes.
Yeah, we just actually finished one in, Oakland. And the next one, Madison Village Chosen. So this is the next. The police departments across the nation do this, and they're very community-based, where the community and the police department collaborate together, and we work on one single problem. Well, the problems that are mostly affecting the neighborhood. And we actually, there's gonna be a lot more, like our unit will do the bulk of the, I don't wanna say the bulk of the legwork when we're here, but we'll be here a lot more. We're gonna be in Madisonville more. And, we actually do present this as it progresses to the chief. And then everybody can offer their own ideas. We've got a community that helps us. We will, any input that the community can give us is great. We've even done things as, like, the one in Oakley was concentrating on the homeless there, so we had a feed the neighborhood day at one of the parking lots in the neighborhood, and the community came out and helped, and we reached out to the homeless population and fed them. They paid for food, and then we had resources that were available to them. So we'll focus on that problem. I don't want to say exactly what the problem is, because I think my sergeant had it defined in a certain way, and I don't want to say something that's not completely accurate. It's Sergeant Sellers, she had all the information. You know, like I said, I'm gonna give you grace. I'm trying to learn everything, but she has all the information about that program. So,
Well, did anybody else have any, you gotta, tell them. Are there any other questions? We can circle back to other people.
The way they outlined it last time, there would be like a community engagement piece where we had like a specific meeting. So I was just wondering when that meeting was gonna happen and what the plans were.
once we get that information, and it's like solidified, and then I'll reach out and give that information so we can pass it along. Okay.
All right. Mike, did you have something else that you want to say? All right, so I think that's it, not seeing any other hands. And then, yeah, you just want to leave the police report on the table and,
It's there.
all right, great. All right, thanks for coming out. Yeah.
Okay. I'll do my, my information too.
Okay, I think, next up is the rec center. From our public administration announcements.
Thank you. So today we had a lot of what I'm talking, right, because I had the microphone closer right now. So today we opened up our basketball courts outside. If you haven't seen them, they're really nice. We probably have the nicest outdoor basketball courts in probably the tri-state. So they're excellent. Coke came out, Body Armor, La Rosa's, Make a Catch. What's the name of it? Catch Me, some other food truck that gave stuff. Kona Ice, we had flag bags, we had basketballs, we had all kinds of stuff, some shooting lessons from some coaches and some dribbling lessons. It was really good. Good turnout. We had a couple hundred people here. For it. The mayor came out, and a few other dignitaries. So it was real nice. We've got a lot of other stuff going on today. We also took kids to the Reds game. So that's kind of the stuff we're doing for the summer here. We have a ton of other activities and programs. The pool's hopping. We're getting a lot more people than we have in the past at the pool, so that's great. More people that show up, when they look to close pools, they're gonna look at numbers. So make sure you're visiting the pool if you want your pool to stay open. That's simple. Few other things. Next Thursday, you look, may I grab it? This flyer here, Shoes for the Shoeless. We're giving away 300 pairs of shoes. Next Thursday, we have 85 people registered. I brought it up last month. Put it on the front door. We just need to get these shoes given away. So anybody that knows anybody under 18, have them go to the website, buy the QR code there and
Sign up to get free shoes, show up next Thursday between 12 and 3, I think, 12 and 2. 12 and 3. Yes, ma'am. Well, ideally, we would like to keep it just Madisonville, but if there's somebody that comes with somebody from Madison, that's. We have 300 shoes right now. We've been offering it. The whole idea is offer it to Madisonville first, and then if other people sign up, they sign up. Yes, sir.
There are a lot of children at the library. So are you probably advertising this also at the library?
It was emailed to them. I don't know if they're advertising or not, but yes. Yeah, and John P. Parker. So we're trying to get this, I mean, we've been putting this flyer's been out for over a month now. So sometimes it's just about holding people's hands and making them do it. So if you know somebody needs shoes, hold their hand, get on the QR code with them and sign them up for some free shoes. Anybody got anything for me? All right, we are registering for our after school day camp right now. So if anybody is interested, sign up.
All right, thank you. Do we get a question?
I'm very happy to have the calendar of events that are coming up. I used to have to just scribble over the plans, put them on my calendar. And I really appreciate your getting that event on. And I hope other people who have services in the community will also get your information on the calendar. So we don't have to go through readings of paper to try to find what's going on.
All right, not seeing anybody from the schools or fire department. We'll move on to the board reports. Yep, so the president's report was at the front desk. The two things that I need to highlight out of that is that we did have, after last month's meeting, we did have some turnover on the board. Alicia stepped down from the housing committee and Melissa stepped down from the membership committee chair positions. And so Allison, if you remember from last month, had a proposal to have a new committee. She has agreed to take on the role of membership chair. And so they're, as you can see right now, they're working through that transition period to move us forward. And then because of that, those like proposed bylaws changes have basically been tabled for the time being. The people who are proposing that chose not to pursue it at this time. I think the other important thing that I had to announce with the city's budget that just passed in June. So the budget for the city runs from July to June every year. And there's a carve out there for community councils for the neighborhood support program. So for us, that program runs the calendar year from January to December. And right now, it was about $99,000 per community council. And in the budget, it got reduced to 69, so about a 30% decrease. There's a potential that in the closeout budget in September for the previous fiscal year, that money could be restored. That's something that could impact next year's funding, since that's a fairly significant drop off as we get replaced. All right, that's all I have for the individual committees. On the agenda, we've got a bunch of meetings coming up, and also had that new calendar. It's like a new thing, so let us know how that looks, and it's something new that we're trying to try to help visualize it better, all the different things that are going on. I think one of the highlights, real important meeting is Saturday, August 12th at Games United at 10 a.m. to noon. That's the second meeting for the Madison Road Complete Street Study. And so talked to the consultant that's working with the city, and they have posed that survey, and they have worked on compiling all the feedback that they have received into a report, and are working with the city on proposed designed alternatives for the corridor. So on that Saturday, we're expecting there to be 3 different alternatives they're going to be suggesting. And so we'll have public feedback on those 3 options. They will be very, very like high level So, there's gonna be a lot of like detail missing, but it'll be the general idea of three options that they're recommending. So I'm gonna kick it over, I'm gonna put Kate on the spot to talk, she's going through. And then,
I'm going through a lot right now. That's really loud. So I'm gonna go through our arts and recs and our education stuff real quick. Our last Tuesday in the park is gonna be this coming Tuesday. Special shout out to School of Rock for playing for us. It was also a reminder. The School of Rock will be there, games again for the kids, free food, free snacks. Brian is gone, so I cannot like praise him for the amazing snow cone machine that actually works and is awesome. So we'll have that. We're also partnering again with the CRC. We just got the green light for August 6th, so our pool closes August 5th. We're going to be having a family fun day Sunday on August 6th from 12:30 to 6:30 right here at our pool and rec center. So again, pool will be open for everybody, free to use. We'll have some music, we'll have lots of food, no barrier to entry, just come and enjoy. At that time, we will be doing some school donation collection. So if you have extra time, a little bit of extra change, purchase some extra school supplies. We're going to be collecting school supplies to be redistributed to our kids that first week of school. That's a packed week as well, because then we've got Shakespeare in the Park, August 9th, that Wednesday. That's going to be back at Ramble Park, so we'll have some crafts for the kids. Shakespeare in the Park, it's a comedy of errors this year, so I'm actually very excited because they haven't done this one yet. So looking forward to that. The other thing of note, you may have noticed when you walked in, there's some fresh veggies on the table back there. Please help yourself. The Education Committee is partnering with Brick Gardens and Mad Llama. We're going to be hosting a community farmers market each week on Wednesdays from 4 to 6. The concept is bring something to share, take what you need. So we're partnering with Brick Gardens, who is providing a lot of produce. We're also partnering with our other residential gardeners here in the neighborhood. Last year, we had a lot of people that were constantly on social media saying, hey, does anybody need X, Y, Z? So we came up with the concept, basically, if you have stuff you'd like to share, bring it to that location between 4 and 6. It's up to you if you want to sell it, if you want to give it away, if you want to trade. The concept is basically to get the produce, get the vegetables back in the neighborhood in the hands of people that need it. So again, that's going to be every Wednesday through the growing season. So we're anticipating mid-September from 4 to 6 at Mad Llama. That's all I have. Is that it? That's everything this week.
yeah, summer's very busy for everyone. I think, oh yeah, the only thing I missed was beautification committee. It has a cleanup Saturday morning, starting at Row and Erie, picking up trash and stuff. So it's 9:30 at Row and Erie. I think that's everybody. Miss Tony, yeah. Miss Tony from the Youth Community Council.
Everybody, when they're doing the cleanup on Saturday, kids from the Madisonville Youth Community Council will be painting all of the tables and benches that they built up and down Madison Road, so they look a little better. The chess tables and all of that. To let you know, I wasn't on your list, but I work with kids who are from the ages from 12 to 17. We have meetings here at the rec on the second and fourth Thursdays of every month from 5:30 to 7. And on the third Monday of every month, we have some kind of training at the library from 5:30 to 7. So just to let people know, he's gonna put it on a web thing or something. But that's what's going on with us right now. There'll probably be more applications out here. Right now, we're doing summer employment with kids. We were given money to assist with early employment for kids, because most of our kids didn't get a chance to sign up from 14 to 17 for the Y2K, the summer city employment. So we're doing employment with our kids. They work 3 hours, they can get paid $11 an hour, and get paid every other week after they work. The sign up for that is over. We are dwindling down, but we do this every year. We get NS2 funds usually for that. We have a page, it's called the Madisonville Youth Community Council at Facebook.com. you can look up our history and see what we've been doing. Any questions?
Yeah, we got one councilman here,
I know,
he
he
should
should,
have got idea of the right way that there is to be cut. I personally have cut.
Do you have a question for her?
How, here, the right of way in Madisonville have not been cut.
so where,
Right,
where we,
I've cut, yeah, I've cut 48 hours here.
Month cutting right of ways, but the right of ways have not been cut in Madisonville, and probably not anywhere in the city. Councilman's here, one running. Do you have any idea when the city's gonna get around to cutting our right of ways?
let me ask a question before we go here. Are you looking for help with that? I don't have one.
Responsible to do that.
Well, I mean, you brought it up because I'm talking about the city workers. That's why I'm asking.
So I think I got this, like, it depends on which section that you're talking about, but no, I got this. Hold on a second. You do not have a microphone. You stop interrupting, please, Mike. I know exactly what.
I get the idea.
No, you gotta, I'm trying to answer you, man, like, just work with me.
Look,
Like,
all I'm asking is this. Do we have an idea when the city of Cincinnati is gonna get around to cutting our right of ways?
I'm trying to answer your
The
question.
Marie Path, whatever, I mean, I've cut,
Mike, I get it. Let me
Okay.
answer your question. It depends on which right of way. Sometimes it's managed by the transportation department, and sometimes it's public services, sometimes it's park. If you have a problem, that is why Cincy 311 exists, that you report that issue to Cincy 311. That's why it exists. If that is not working, let me know, and we can try to harass who we need to figure out to get it fixed.
okay, I appreciate that. You'd have to almost be blinded not to drive around and see these right of ways not being cut. The one on Erie, and I cut it personally. The one down there at Camargo in Plainville, I cut it. Nobody's cutting it. I cut it. You know, the pocket parks, I guess we're responsible. But these things aren't being cut. They've been cut all year. Okay,
They just let me know, and
I mean,
for example,
it shouldn't have to be that complicated.
I agree.
I mean.
So just let me know. You don't have to like, you can talk about it. We don't have to like make it a huge thing here.
It is a big deal when, you know, somebody who lives in the community's got to spend 48 hours here cutting his grass, weed eating, and it should be a big deal. And then we got a councilman here, he should, you know, listen to what we're saying and say, hey, you know, get up in Madisonville, cut our right of ways, cut our green space, because it looks terrible.
So yeah, just let me know and we can work through it. All right, so unless there are any other board members have some alibis that I forgot, we can move on to neighborhood agency announcements. Oh, yeah.
All the work you're putting in Madisonville, will there be any signs that says, like, do not litter, this is our community? Any cameras just to protect the investment, because it is a lot of sweat equity and dollars being spent?
That's complicated question, no single answer. So like, so the community council, like, we're not doing development per se. So we're just like neighborhood community volunteer organization. But there are grant opportunities that city has that an organization can apply for. There's like kind of like a process for it. But you know, we would have to work through that on probably being more specific requests. And depending on how big in scale you want to go, right? Like, so, like adding all lighting, increasing lighting on an area where there's like a lot of crime or something like that. That's a separate program. And I will say that the city does try to pride itself on being like a data-driven city. So that's where like Cincy 301 can help a lot when it comes to those kind of more the low stakes things, like not violent crime or something like that, but like litter and stuff like that. So that kind of helps that build that platform. So if like if there's like a street that gets a lot of reports for littering, that can kind of build a case towards being able to install a garbage can, like public garbage can. That's kind of like one option. So yeah, so it kind of depends on how big you want to go, and we can kind of talk through that. But
If you wanted to get involved in applying for a grant, where would you go?
yeah, I don't have any experience. It's called Safe and Clean Fund is what it is. So I don't think the community council has ever applied for it. But
Safe and Clean Fund in the past, Joan used to apply that. Joan was our past treasurer and beautification chair. It was applied for anything from beautification funds to, I think the last one we did was actually do the dumpster, to bring a dumpster to the neighborhoods so that people could get rid of all of their things. It just depends on what you want to apply for. It's a fairly easy grant to apply for. It just depends on what general consensus of the community is, what they want to apply for.
okay, seeing no other hands, move on to community agency announcements. Archibald, did you have any announcements that you wanted to make?
Not necessarily, no, we're just busy, we got camp starting up for a couple of weeks and, things shows are coming back in, so just kind of watch something.
Yeah, so just follow along Artsville's Facebook page and website for updates to events coming up. Next up would be Best Point, formerly known as the Cincinnati Children's Home.
Good evening, everybody. I just have a couple things. First off, I don't know why summer's going so fast. So we are wrapping up our summer programs and getting ready for school. We have early childhood programs, education programs, and mental health programs. Over 30 different programs across the area here. But here in Madisonville, we are currently enrolling for our preschool. It's down on Red Bank Road, 4550. Ages 3 to 5. We are a 5-star quality preschool. Also down on Madison Road at our 5050 campus, our building that is up, it's 5051 Duck Creek. We have the Levine Family Health Center there. So that's a partnership with the Cincinnati Health Department. The health center is open to Schroeder kids, to our kids and staff, and also the community. So I always want to mention that as an option to those here in Madisonville. I also want to say, if anyone you know, are currently looking for employment, so always check out our website, bestpoint.org, and check out our career page. So we're looking for teachers, educational aides, therapists. We have over 500, I think 600 employees currently, so we always have different openings. So please check that out. I do have some of our arrays up there that describes our different services. But if you're looking for service, have questions, we have one number, 513-272-2800. We can direct you to someone for a program or even for a job. That's it.
Right. I think that leaves the Madisonville Business Chamber. Then we'll move on to our business.
Good evening, everybody. Madisonville Business Chamber would like to congratulate Liz at the Cheesecakery. She was named the 6th best bakery in Cincinnati. She is also one of our business partners. So she's not here tonight, but congratulate her when you see her. On Monday, August 21st, in partnership with ECDI and Ella Frank, we are doing our monthly training on the basics of finding and writing grants, for-profit and nonprofit. Melissa Frazier, who has been doing this for 20 years, will be teaching that course. You would see this out on Eventbrite on July 31st for sign up. First dibs go to Business Chamber members. So I think this one will go quick. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, seeing no hands, we can move on to the the business portion of our agenda, which is one item. And this is an item that is required by our bylaws for July and odd number years, where we elect a nominating committee of 5 members. The committee shall nominate at least one candidate for each office to be filed at the annual meeting. So this is the hard part. We need one person to volunteer to be the chair of the committee, and we need 4 other people to volunteer to be on the committee. And I do want to clarify that. So they will file their report in October with 5 suggestions. That's the beginning of the discussion, not the end. So at the October meeting, if other people are interested in running, or you know someone that you are interested in having them run, October is also another option to add to that slate. After that meeting, then is what it is, and then we vote on that in November. And those 5 positions are president, vice president, treasurer, recording secretary, the corresponding secretary. I'm trying to think of any other caveats just to make it a 2-year term starting in January. And then to vote in the election in November, you have to be an active member, which means you paid your dues within 4 weeks of that election. All right, so there are no questions. Do I have any volunteers to chair the committee? Is that 2 hands up, or are you pointing at her?
Yeah, but
Okay, so I'm,
You nominating her to chair? Okay.
okay. All right, so yeah, that's how this usually goes, is that someone gets voluntold. But so for chair, I had Monica Hill raise her hand, volunteering to be chair of the committee. So I need 4 other people to volunteer to be on it. I have Mike Ty, Melissa Wilkerson, Kathy Garrison, Chris Pfaff, and Rhoda Bates. Sorry. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 6 total people. Okay, sorry. It was. Okay, that was Mike Ty, Chris Pfaff, Kathy Garrison, Melissa Wilkerson, and Rhoda Bates. All right. All right, this never happened before. And oh, well, you trying to like volunteer someone else? Like we already got enough. Oh. Yes, I have an extra copy of the bylaws and the standing rules as well. There. All right, so I think we're at an impasse. So I think what we could do, since we have to elect, we could. All right, so there's no real precedent for this. Usually it's pulling teeth to try to get people to volunteer for it. So I am thinking, huh? Right, so we have, well, I mean, right. I was assuming we would only have 5, so I thought we would vote on the whole slate, but we cannot do that because we have more than 5. So I think we have to vote on them individually. The bylaws just say that we have to have an election. And it just says 5 members in proper noun. This is 5 members. Either somebody volunteers to take their name. Okay, there we go. All right, problem solved. Thank you, Chris. Okay. All right, so Chris has volunteered to step down. That gives us a nice round 5 people. So, all right, okay. So we still have to do an election. So essentially, we can just do an up and down vote on those 5 as a collective. Unless there are any objections.
Can I make a motion to accept the nominating committee as amended?
That is from Kate. I have a second by Harry Henry. Okay. So we have to debate the items. Are there any comments or questions about the item? We have to vote on it to talk about it. Right, okay, so that's right. So we're gonna do this by show of hands. And so this is a vote of active membership. So by show of hands, how many yeses do we have to open up discussion? Going from my left to right. 1, 2, 3. What? Okay. All right. You're gonna try to walk me through it, all right? Okay, all right, so if there are any questions or comments?
I believe, the bylaws state you gotta have 5, but we should have some leeway there. 6 or 7 people want to volunteer for something like this. There should be, we need to really look into our bylaws. The whole idea is to encourage more participation and to engage people and to have 5, just limited to 5. I think we need to really start looking at our bylaws. I think they're antiquated. I think they're, later on in the meeting, I want to put a motion forward about addressing some of our bylaws. So, but that's my comment, I guess.
Yeah, we definitely have the need to do a full, review of our bylaws. So if anybody is interested in taking that on, let me know. All right, are there any other questions or comments? Oh, and okay, the other thing is that like the president cannot be part of the committee, so I will not be like participating. But the membership chair will send the list of membership to the nominating committee chair. And then that allows them to know who is eligible and who could be eligible by that November election.
Just one comment so that everybody is clear. Precedent was set several years ago that no person on the nominating committee has the full membership list. Just for confidentiality reasons, and in the past, because people have actually not only been on the nominating committee, but also have run for office. So that way there's no unfair advantage. So the membership chair traditionally will separate out the list and give snippets of the list to each of the people on the nominating committee to contact said people on the list. Everybody good with that?
All right. All right, is that last comment or question? Okay, so now we can vote on the item. All right, so, so we're voting on those 5 persons to be on the nominating committee to give us a report in October of a slate of at least 5 candidates for office. Okay, so by show of hands, how many yeses do I have? Yes. Yeah. Okay, so starting from my left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I have 24 yeses. Please lower your hands. By show of hands, do I have any no's? Seeing none. And by show of hands, do I have any abstentions? Seeing none. All right, so the yeses have it. All right, and if nobody has any other business for the group, we can move on to the general body announcements. If anybody has any other announcements that they have for the community council of. Yeah, it was like kind of like I thought you were. You go ahead.
Real quick, so CPS Back to School Bash is August 5th downtown at Washington Park. John P. Parker's Back to School Carnival is August 15th. August 15th at JPP from 5 to 7. We'd love it if you were a JPP volunteer that came out and helped out. If you just want to come see what the school is about, talk to teachers, etc., you are more than welcome.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, hi, everyone. I'm going to be speaking now as not part of our community council, but as Anna Albee, candidate for city council. So I'm running for city council, focusing on community safety, gun violence prevention. Many of you all have seen me up here over the past couple of years talking about work we've done in the community to provide secure firearm storage, free gun locks, and education out to the community. I also am an advocate working with city council currently. I had a chance to stand with them in February when we announced 2 gun safety ordinances that passed earlier this year. One requiring secure firearm storage, and the second one preventing anyone who's been convicted of domestic violence from owning or using a firearm. So that is work I would like to continue on council, but also thinking about community safety from the perspective of everyone having access to livable wages, housing, fresh food. I'm really glad to have Rick Spartan here today because of that. Making sure our youth programs, community centers are well funded, and just having that holistic approach to community safety. So that's my spiel. I will be on the ballot on November 7th. So you will see me around, probably knocking doors. So, just say hi to me if you see me. The next thing I want to share, again, as not a representative of the community council, is there's a special election happening right now. The election date is on August 8th. It's on a thing called Issue 1. So Issue 1 is basically trying to change the threshold needed of votes to amend the Constitution from a citizen-led petition. So today in Ohio, if there's a citizen-led petition effort, when it makes the ballot, you only need a simple majority, so 51% to pass it and it becomes law. This Issue 1 is trying to raise that threshold to be 60% and to make the barrier to getting onto the ballot higher. So like number of signatures you need to collect and from whom. So I'm encouraging as an individual to vote no on Issue 1 because we want to protect our rights as citizens to have direct democracy over our Constitution. So I've got some information here. I'm sitting in the back. Feel free to grab some if you have any questions for me. Voting is open now. Election day is on August 8th. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, Mike.
Right now, 44 counties, you have
Yeah.
If this ball goes through, you have to go to 88 counties. There's some counties in Ohio, this article won't go. So they're gonna make it so hard to even get into. Not even get into.
Yeah, so to repeat that, so right now you only need to collect signatures from 44 counties. It's a pretty high threshold though, like 300 or 400,000 signatures, but only from 44 counties. Part of this issue would raise that to every county in the state. So it would make it harder to get on the ballot, and it would make it harder for us as citizens to pass something. There is a metaphor going on online that compares it to a football game. So imagine if Ohio State scored 59 points and Michigan scored 41 and Michigan won the game. We would all be pretty upset. So we are voting no, hopefully, to prevent that from happening.
If there is nothing.
I don't need a microphone. You just give us an update on an announcement about.
Oh yeah, there is, okay, so the old elementary school at Homer and Bramble, that CPS is in the process of purchasing that building, and they are going to open pre-K in the fall, and registration for that is already open if you or another parent are interested. There is one more, you have a public engagement session in early August. It's in the president's report. August 3rd. And they have an August 3rd public engagement session at the school. For those looking for more information, they also have in the president's report the link to the website, the CPS that has more information. I know they list on there that they have, an FAQ and a survey, that they plan to add to that website, in the future. But yeah, just for now, it's just gonna be pre-K and fall.
Just for city council, are you guys working with these large corporations that pays the sum at Fifth Third Bank to provide incentives for them to hire from within their backyard? Yeah,
She's not on city council. So, I would. I know, like. Community council, we, when it comes to just businesses in general in the neighborhood, they can be members of the organization, and then try to recruit just as much as anybody else. Although they can also be a member of the business chamber separately. I wouldn't say that we have like any contracts with any of them. I don't know if I can only speak for city council.
Marketing, targeted hiring, like job things for the city of the whole, not just. Doing the thing again, I'm not talking like, so they do it for the city as a whole and not for just a specific neighborhood. I'm not gonna put Chris on the spot, but Chris actually addressed it from a MedPace perspective. I know Coca-Cola was doing it, but then Coca-Cola.
On the spot. So we are hiring quite a few positions all over. But here in Cincinnati and in Madisonville, we have all of our jobs online. We do partner with Jobs Ohio and different organizations. And so while some of our positions are specialized and require specialized degrees, we have quite a few support functions. They're all based here in Madisonville. So we do quite a few job fairs in the area with local universities also at MedPace's campus. They are advertised online. I think it's just as good as people spreading the word that they are happening. So we definitely do have Madisonville residents working at MedPace. They're still hiring.
All right, I think that's it. So we have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Yeah. And Melissa and seconded by Josh. All right, thanks everybody for coming out. We'll see you next, you're on a break on August. We'll have our next General Body meeting will be in September. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion that instead of the meetings to review the bylaw.
Well, yeah, part of the business, you have like something going on the business thing. We also like, we have like bylaws. We got done in meeting now.
I can use my phone.